Should athletes use resistance machines, or should they use free weights?
Both are very effective. In fact, there actually seems to be no difference in total strength, hypertrophy, and even your jump performance. It's all about the context. Context is key. So let's dive in to free weights first. So perhaps one of the benefits of free weights is we may develop some more joint stability. This is simply because we have to control the load through some space without any added assistance of a machine. There may also be some better carryover to our sports performance. Or another term, there may be a better dynamic correspondence for some free weight exercises, especially compound lifts. This is just because of the development of our neuromuscular coordination between different joints, meaning we're able to transfer forces more efficiently throughout our entire kinetic chain. Free weight exercises are also very versatile. We've got tons, almost endless variations using barbells, dumbbells. It's almost impossible to run out of ideas. One downside to free weights, however, some lifts can be quite complicated, meaning it may require a bit more technique to be developed. If you're quite new to the gym and you have very little experience lifting weights, it may take some time for you to develop some good technique before you're really able to get the most out of these exercises.
As George said, there's a little bit of technique mastery required for free weights. So if you are a novice to the gym, so your gym age is low, resistance machines are a good alternative. They're pretty plug in and play. So as a novice, you can jump onto a resistance machine and get a pretty good workout pretty quickly with real minimal risk of hurting yourself because of the nature of the fixed resistance of a resistance machine. A resistance machine is great for training injury because it keeps us in a fixed plane of motion. What it's also good for is maybe targeting a specific weak area, say for example a leg extension when targeting a quad, or we can actually use it to train around an injury. So we might have a hamstring injury, so therefore that leg extension is good because it takes away the eccentric loading of the hamstring, for example, say that we'd find in a squat. However, this could affect stability. Because we're in a machine that is in a fixed plane of motion, say for example a leg extension or a leg curl or even a Smith machine for that matter, it might not give us the stability required. So if we're looking to maybe stabilize a joint a little bit more, it might not give us that little bit of instability required to work on those muscles.
So yes, as Freddie just mentioned, some injuries may require some joint stability work, and thus some free weight options may be viable to develop back some proprioception under some load, and even developing that neuromuscular coordination. Another thing to note, they both develop qualities for specific sports very well. And it's really down to the phases of training, potential maybe rehab or injuries that kind of create the context to why we use maybe one or the other.
As George has mentioned in a lot of our previous videos, sometimes when training sports performance, you don't necessarily need to be training the movement pattern of the sport. For example, if we're a tennis player, we don't need to be doing loads of lunges in the gym. What we're looking for is creating a stimulus in the muscle to get the response that we want. You can still create this stimulus on a resistance machine in the gym. But while I talk about the positives of resistance machines, of course, for every positive, there is a negative. Resistant machines don't accommodate for anthropometrics. For example, you could be a 4'11" gymnast, or you could be a 6'9", 6'10" basketball player. You're not going to fit the same in the same machine. This is where the problem with resistance machines comes. So what it might do is it might feel a little bit awkward for you if you're too short or too long, but what it also might do is it might actually lack range of motion for you. So for example, if you are too tall for the machine, you might not actually get that full range of motion, say on a leg press, because actually before your leg extends straight, the machine might run out of room. This is where one of the negatives for resistance machines can come, is that it doesn't actually factor in different heights, different sizes, different weights of people.
This is one thing that we're able to accommodate with most free weight exercises. Because we're not in any fixed positions or have a fixed path of movement, our limb length, our height doesn't really restrict what sort of movements we're able to do. Yes, your squat might look different, but you're still able to squat with the free weight exercise. So as a key takeaway, both are very effective. It's down to the context of why and how we're using these exercises to create a specific stimulus. If you found this video useful, be sure to share, comment below, and let us know your thoughts on free weight training and machine-based training.